Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here, once again, with another video on, you've guessed it, The Flash, Season 6. So just to start off, before we get into the rest of the video, I'm actually going to be starting a giveaway in this video. I'll announce it in, next week or so, that the winner will be contacted. Now, it is for this Flash gift pack. It's the weirdest thing I think I've ever given away, but I saw it and I was like, you know what, that looks pretty interesting. So it comes with like a hat, a key ring, a can cooler, and something else. So it's a bit different, but pretty cool, I guess. So if you want to be in the chance to, win this, all you do is leave a like on the video, be subscribed to the channel, and then leave a comment just on your thoughts on what we go over in this video in the comment section down below. Pretty simple. So yeah, a hat, key ring, can cooler, and I think something else. So yep, do all that and you're entered. But yeah, in this video we have some set photos and information to go over from episode 6 for this season of The Flash, which is the episode that is being directed by Danielle Panabaker, who of course plays Caitlin Snow on the show. Now, this is going to be a bit of a different style of episode by the looks of it, but might be similar to an episode that we've had it was last season, in regards to the amount of time we spend with a certain pairing. Now, most of this information is coming from our usual maple syrup drinking beaver taming friend, of course that being Canada Graphs, but some of it is just coming from chatter from others that were there on set, but I will distinguish between all that when necessary. I hopefully won't forget that. Now, as always, I'm not going to be going over every tiny little bit of information or photo that Canada Graphs did provide, so I will leave the link to his blog in the description down below if you want to go check everything out and all of that. So go do that after the video to check it all out. But firstly, episode 6 for this season actually has a title now, thanks to this, set photo thing. And that title is A License to Elongate, which might hint at a sort of like spy type feel that this episode might have, with the title obviously being a, James Bond reference or 007 reference. So it will be interesting to see how they embrace that title, but there are a few things based around what we go over in this video that relate to that episode title. So yeah, it does feel like this episode is going to be a Ralph Dibny centric episode in some way, similar to like the Elongated Night Rises and stuff like that, and whatever the other Elongated Night thing was in season 4, which is interesting, as from memory, episode 5 for this season, so the episode before this one is a Cisco centric episode. I think it was episode 5, so there seems to be a decent amount of character focused episodes this season. I think Iris has a character focused one, might be episode 3 or 4, so yeah, interesting. But yeah, we are just going to go through Canada Graph's post, or his blog post, and then bring up some photos when relevant, so let's just get to it. But yeah, as I have said, this is for episode 6 for this season, and they right now have wrapped up this episode. I think they wrapped it up, 2 days ago from when this video is coming out, and have moved swiftly into filming for episode 7. I think Candace Patton, who plays Iris, said they're filming episode 7 right now. And this is pretty quick from there, or for them, in regards to them just getting through these episodes. But as all of us should know, a crisis is coming, and for that to appear on our screens, they have to film it. So they're going to need a decent amount of time for that filming, because it is such a big thing. 5 episodes, and it starts airing in early December, so they sort of have to get through it. But they were filming at the same location for 3 filming days straight. It's not 3 days straight, but just 3 filming days straight. And that was at a location known as the Orpheum Theatre. Now, this theatre will be seen in Supergirl's first episode for this season, as you can see on screen right now, as well as an episode of Legends of Tomorrow. Not too sure what specific episode that is. And it has been used in, various other DC TV shows and their episodes over the past few seasons. I'm pretty sure Arrow used it last season as well, so it's not like a brand new location. I just don't think Flash has used it like a ridiculous amount. But the theatre this time will be serving as the insides of the art pavilion of Midway City. We, of course, went over some other set photos last week, roughly, where we saw both Barry Allen and Ralph Dibny camped outside of the Midway City art pavilion in a classic-looking car, and they seem to be doing some detective work, or at least some type of stakeout. So it does seem that the episode will pretty much be in Midway City, outside of maybe the opening 5 minutes and the closing 5 minutes of the episode, and then we might go back, every now and then throughout the episode, just to see, because there's probably like some other like subplot going on back at Central City, maybe something to do with blood work or something like that. So I have to wait and see what happens there. But I guess the big question is whether this actually plays into the main story, what Barry and Ralph are doing here, whether it plays into what, some stuff with Bloodwork, the big villain for the opening part of the season, or whether it is a sort of, filler type episode. I would be surprised if it is filler. You would have to think it would be relevant in some way, but I guess that is for us to wait and find out. And this episode, as I was saying before, could be similar to an episode we saw last season. And remember that episode last season when Barry and Ralph just didn't use their powers and they went undercover to get the meta weapon or whatever it was to try and take down Cicada? That was the gold-faced episode. This could be very similar to that. But yeah, basically pretty much that. So they go into this different location that might not use their powers that often, and it's sort of like a buddy cop type episode. I think that was actually a surprisingly good episode last season. I think actually most people enjoyed it, so I'm not too surprised that they're sort of going with the same model for an episode early this season as well. Now, as you can see through the set photos, we do have Barry and Ralph suited up in suits or tuxedos, and they weren't the only ones. I'm pretty sure, that pretty much everyone else that entered the area in which they were filming these scenes of this episode were in well-dressed attire or fancy dress, if you want to call it. So you would have to think that seeing that it is in an art pavilion, that there is some high-class art event or unveiling or something along those lines. Now, there was an actress there called Rebecca Roberts who, based off a couple of people that were around the set, was being referred to as January Galore, which honestly sounds like either a XXX movie name or a character from a James Bond movie. That's maybe what they're going for there. And I guess that makes sense based off what it seems this episode is going for, based off the the title of the episode, License to Elongate. But that character of January Galore isn't one from the comics, so it is a made-up one for this episode. Now, this January January Galore, not January Jones. January Jones is the actress that played Emma Stone. What was it? Emma. What's that X-Men character from X-Men First Class? She was in X-Men and goddamn Mad Men, I think. Anyway, so January Galore will be one of the well-dressed patrons at the event, and if I was a betting man, I would probably put money down on Ralph hitting on her. Actually, honestly, put $10 on that, please, because I'm pretty damn confident that will actually happen in this episode. So, yeah, Ralph's 100% hitting on her because he's the James Bond type character. She's that, seductive woman character. So, I think that's what's going to happen. Now, another actor and character that was seen on set was that of Carlo Rota. Now, he is the actor, not the character. Now, I'm not too sure what is going on with the character he's playing, and don't jump the gun when I say this and who this guy could potentially be playing, or at least what part of the character's name. But people around set heard some of his character's name had the word Meister in it. Now, yes, as in Music Meister. Now, they were confident it wasn't Music Meister. The first part of it was longer, but it did sound like Meister was what his character's name ended with. Now, it could be something like a German word is Heiselmeister or something like that. That could be his weird name, or something like that. But you never know. Now, while this scene did take place in a theater, it was intended to be inside of an art museum, and also the actor of Carlo Rota was dressed, pretty similar to that of Barry and Ralph, just black and white suits or tuxedos, whatever you want to call them. So I guess you could maybe, if we're going to, say that it was something Meister, maybe he's the artistic Meister or the painting Meister or something like that. But I guess we'll just have to wait and find out, because I was pretty damn surprised when I read and heard that, Meister at the end. And the last guest character that was seen on set was a character that we have already brought up in previous videos, and that seems to be the main antagonist or threat for this episode, and that is the woman here with the red mask. Now, this is the same character that was seen going to and from the set when they were filming scenes in a basement type area that will serve as, a basement type area of this art pavilion. Now, if this is going to play out like a James Bond movie, then this character could be the assassin type bodyguard, if you want to call it, that protects the main villain or smart bad guy or something like that. But as you can tell, this woman here is Hispanic, and in those previous videos I stated the actress was Asian, and that is because, at the time, she was. But that was actually the stunt double that was seen previously, but this is the actress that will say the lines and all of that. This actress is known as Alexa Barajas Plante, or Plante. Not sure if that E has a bit of a Hispanic influence on the E. And for those wondering who this character is from the comics, well, she isn't from the comics. This character is actually called Ultraviolet, and that isn't a character from the comics. So it seems that the Flash is meta, but maybe a potential meta. It is hard to tell if she is actually a meta or just like a highly skilled fighter and like bodyguard type character or something like that. I guess we will just have to wait and find out in regards to that. But she does have that red mask and all of that. And as I said, and did describe, in previous videos, it does have those like, there's slits on the mask, sort of like a knight's helmet, or the bottom of Zoom's like cowl. Or some of you might even think it looks like the mask that Sub-Zero or Scorpion would wear. But of course it's red. And the last thing, there's just a bit of a bonus type of information, which is pretty interesting, that Canada Graphs did provide, and that's that Michelle Harrison will be in either episode 6 or 7. It's most likely 7, just based off what this episode 6 was going to be. So it's going to be interesting how she's brought in, because she's meant to be playing Nora Allen. She's noted down as Nora Allen. So is it a flashback? Is it time travel? Is it multiverse? I guess we'll have to wait and see and hear more of what episode 7 could potentially be like to narrow in on this more. I highly doubt we're going to see her die again, so hopefully it'll be a bit more positive. But this opens up the door to maybe episode 7 being pretty damn interesting, and that's only, 2 episodes off Crisis. So maybe there's some interesting stuff going down right there. And also, Michelle Harrison was actually took part in a softball game that I think Flash, Batwoman, Riverdale, and Sabrina, the Teenage Witch casts played in. There was like a softball game for the cast and crew, and she was there for that game. Some eagle-eyed people caught that on Instagram. So she was already there, Flash related. So now this basically just hammers at home that she's going to be in the episode that's now being filmed. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As I said, to enter that giveaway for that Flash kit, you just need to leave a like, leave a comment with your thoughts on this video, and subscribe. But if you don't want to do that, you can still leave a like in the video, leave your thoughts in the comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.